You want to go?
You can go.
You can go.
Hi.
You want to talk together at the same time?
We could definitely do a call. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, that's too loud. Okay. Okay. I love the silence after starting to talk. Good afternoon and welcome, and thank you for joining us today for our Energia Adventure 11th Demo Day. Yeah, definitely. I'm Belle Kober, and I have the privilege and the honor to be the program manager for the accelerator programs. This year, out of 80 applicants, 5 outstanding companies were selected to participate. And today, 4 are graduating. Urban Stock, Beluga Pods, NeoApps AI, and Xenovision. In the past 3 months, the 5 selected companies worked intensively with mentors, staff, and instructors to bring us to today. Being an entrepreneur can be both challenging and rewarding, and it always requires a supportive network. Here in New Brunswick, we are fortunate to have such an amazing and nurturing ecosystem. On this special event, we will together hear their story of success and celebrate the wonder of entrepreneurship. I'm honored to welcome to the stage Dr. Petra Hoff, the Vice President Academic at University of New Brunswick.
Oops. I try not to eat it. Thank you, Belle. And on behalf of UMB, welcome everyone. Before I begin, I would like to respectfully acknowledge that UMB stands on the unsurrendered and unceded traditional Wolastoqey land. The lands of the Wabanaki people are recognized in a series of peace and friendship treaties to establish an ongoing relationship of peace, friendship, and mutual respect between equal nations. The river that runs by our university is known as Wolastoq, along which live Wolastoqwik, the people of the beautiful and bountiful river. Wolastoq is also called St. John River. I'm very pleased to be here today as we host the 11th annual cohort of Energia Ventures, the second cohort of 2024. This startup accelerator from the J. Herbert Smith Center for Technology, Management, and Entrepreneurship, or TME as we know it way better, has been providing an innovative program to support businesses and entrepreneurs since 2016. Including this year's participants, more than 48 companies have successfully utilized this program. There's no doubt those companies, and the new ones we will hear from today, provide a valuable boost to the economy, especially in our current challenging business landscape. For example, companies from last year's cohort have created more than 18 new positions since the completion of their program. One company relocated from Luxembourg and incorporated in Fredericton, opening new positions in the local economy and advancing the technology and engineering development in the province. They expect to grow to 45-employee company in the next few years. The rest of the world is taking note. 5 alumni from the program were listed on Foresight Canada's 2023 Foresight 50 for Canada's most investable clean tech ventures. One alum was listed in Deloitte's 2023 Clean Technology Ranking in the Technology Fast 50 report, and one alum was featured in F6S's 10 top agri-tech startups and companies in Canada. Today's cohort features companies based in Alberta, Ontario, New Brunswick, and the UK. I'm incredibly proud that these teams choose to participate in UNB's Energia Ventures Accelerator program and excited at the prospect of their hard work paying off with new businesses, new jobs, and growth that will benefit their communities and ours. Their success is a testament to the value of experiential learning. The results, real solutions in areas such as energy, education, and sustainability will continue to push our economy forward in a meaningful way. This program is just one example of the positive impact UMB has on our community, our province, and the world. To the remarkable cohorts presenting here today, congratulations on your impressive work, and I look forward to following your continued success. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hoff. I would like to welcome to the stage Dr. Narendra Shukla, the chair of the J. Herbert Smith Center for Technology Management and Entrepreneurship.
You know, I couldn't believe that we launched Energia during my previous sabbatical and just finished my sabbatical pretty recently. And we're here celebrating, the 11th cohort. This is very, very special, very exciting. Most people wonder, how they're selected, what was the mechanism, what made them special. Them as people made it special. The cohort that have gone through our accelerator program and Energia, they are special. They're incredible human beings dedicating their time, energy, and effort to make the world an extremely beautiful place, making it more connected, more vibrant, more meaningful, and like I say, hopefully build a better future than what we have given the world right now. So no pressure, but you have a lot to do to fix all our problems that we have given you. But no better people than the ones that that are going to be presenting today. They're just amazing human beings. And in an Atlantic Canadian way, you're part of the family. You're here. You're part of us as you go thrive and do amazing things. We won't forget you. We will always be your champions. We'll always be cheering you on, wanting the best for you. And, life as an entrepreneur has its ups and downs. And when you have your downs, you know that we are there for you. When you have your ups, we are there for you, celebrating, cheering you on, and going the extra distance for you. Recently, as we had one of the participants of the Energia cohort was in New York, won Forbes top 30 under 30. What's incredible results of our mentorship, our coaching, and people out there just conquering the world and just hanging out with us, and we are having fun. So handing back to Imbal, really here to celebrate. They are the stage. We are so founder-centric that it's not about us. It's all about you, the founders, and the change makers and the champions, and go build a better world from here on. Thank you.
Narendra is never a guy that you want to have to go after, but I'll do my best here. And just to follow up on what Narendra said, there was a really special person recently, Sam Poirier, that was awarded Forbes 30 Under 30 award. I would call the guy my best friend. I spoke with him this morning. We lived together for 8 years in university, and we both started our companies at the same time. And when I was speaking with him this morning after the event, he said, you know what, there were so many remarkable people at this gala. Spoke to as many people as I could, but the thing that was really profound to me is that they weren't impressive in comparison to the people in the Fredericton startup community. Lots of people had good ideas, and they went and got big U.S. money to start their ideas, and they raised a bunch of capital. But there's something special going on here with the way that we work. We try to build the right foundation for businesses, and I think long term that's really going to mean something. I think that'll be exemplified in the presentations you see today. These individuals are amazing. The first person that we're going to be introducing you today, Brent from Urban Stock. And I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to be introducing everyone, but I'm going to approach it as a vision for the future. They're probably going to be off-put by this because it's not it's not a part of their pitches whatsoever, but I'm going to give my thinking on what each of their ventures could mean. And so, Brent, Urban Stock, they're creating a system that is going to make it so that food can become accessible to people all around the world with a click of a button, regardless of the climate conditions, regardless of what happens. And I think as we're seeing right now, technology is moving forward in a rapid way, and with that, climate change is coming alongside of it. There's a few things that could drastically impact our future. And Urban Stock represents a technology and an opportunity in the future to create sustainable food and sustainable living for everyone long term. So I think it's a great, promising technology. And without further ado, here is Brent from Urban Stock.
Thank you, Curtis. Hi, everybody. My name is Brent Downey, founder and CEO of Urban Stock. And we as a company, we're here to nourish the planet from pod to plate and back again. With that, I want to take us on a quick food innovation journey this afternoon. So it's no surprise that North America's farming communities are now either in or entering a new global destabilized period, which is now hindering profits, reducing efficiencies, and really just unable to guarantee the quality and the safety of the foods that we're growing. So things like climate change, labor shortages, and a host of other destabilizing effects are really now hindering our farmers and forcing them to innovate and find alternative farming solutions. So across North America, we are seeing in Canada and the United States that inventory and product loss due to this supply chain destabilization is now nearing $99 billion every single year. In Canada alone, that's an economic value of approximately 70% of all the food that we're growing is now lost year over year. So, again, really emphasizing that it's not surprising that farmers are now looking towards indoor smart growing systems at unprecedented rates as an alternative for farming solutions. In response to this ever-changing landscape of our farmers, Urban Stock, we have developed our novel pod technologies to enable farmers to future-proof their operations and really leave behind a strong generational and community legacy. Our integrated hardware software pod systems are able to grow over 30 different crop cultivars or varieties of our crops while reducing the overhead and environmental costs of that growth. So pods are simply fed in Urban Stock's plant recipes, which is really just 14 different growth inputs that follow the crop from seed to harvest without our farmers ever having to intervene in that process. So, since we know the most pinpointed resources per head of crop, we're able to reduce those variable cost structures for our farmers, increase yield, health, and size predictability, as well as ensuring a predictable profit per productive square foot of our pods. So, our farmers are now buoyed from these climate changing whims, the lack of labor shortages, and really just that overuse and sometimes over pollution of our natural resources as well. What's even better is that our farmers are able to now act as positive change makers in our local communities by growing more sustainable and transparent foods. So we're not obviously just creating another elevated piece of technologies. We have worked quite closely with our farming communities to bring our technology driven growth and channel distribution sales together into one platform, and we call that Harvest Link. Our Harvest Link opportunity creates a local resilient food community where wholesalers, retailers, other B2B consumers can request product and source locally, form our really important communal relationships, and purchase products direct through the application. Super easy process for the retailers. They simply just have to make an account, set their geographic preferences, and then the store will automatically be synced to a 4-hour radius of that entire pod network of all the different crops that are growing, the different farmers, and all of the different opportunities that the community will provide. Ultimately, that supply chain and value chain centralization and localization is now also reducing spoilage costs, labor time, cycle time, and just overall, we're seeing that value chain cost per product go down for both the retailer and the farmer alike. So let's look at this just a little bit more closely and consider ourselves an example. So let's say we have Farmer Jay. He and his wife are third generational farmers and are looking to future proof their farm for their kids' legacy and their inheritance. Jay hears about Urban Stock's pod technology. It begins with his first leased 8 pod unit growing microgreens for local healthy organic grocery stores, juice bars, what may have you. And he's now able to grow those microgreens in just a 10-day period without any carbon interventions like a pesticide or herbicide or anything like that. And he can track the growth from seed to harvest on his tablet or his IoT device while he tends to other things on his farm. What's even better is that Jay's variable costs have now reduced by as much as 5% per grow cycle, and he can rotate that crop 30 times per year. And so in an 8 pod configuration, he's anticipating that's now going to yield him $6.4 million of sales in that first fiscal year. So, when you really think about that impact, he can now start to pay off some of those farm operational losses that he's seen in other years and really start creating this long lasting farming generational legacy. So, to achieve this mission, we are lowering the barriers to adoption with Urban Stock now working with existing lenders and technology providers of, for example, Farm Credit Canada financially, and John Deere from a technological channel distribution perspective. So, not only that, but these existing farming community relationships are going to prove very valuable for our commercialization roadmap. This is a very highly relational industry, and we really want to make sure that we're tapping into existing channels to really lower the friction of adoption of our pod technologies inside our immediate community. I also want to touch upon a little bit of what we've been doing so far here in Ontario. We are working with the Ministry of Indigenous Affairs to test pilot our pods in the Brant County Ohsweken First Nation territory lands as a new model of growing on traditional territory foods, which currently the Ohsweken First Nation territory lands is now classified as 129,000 household food desert, meaning there is no healthy food option on territory lands currently. And that's really obviously negatively impacting community health. And so our pods are coming in to not only correct the health and wellness of our food future for that community, but bring back and revitalize culturally relevant staple foods to that community. So given these pilots and work inside our farming and B2B retailing communities, we are anticipating a growth rate around 30% year over year with commercial agriculture farmers leading that growth of sales. And so really you see on this graph here on our next slide that you'll see that by September 2027, we'll have on average 200,000 square feet of productive pod capacity with a total of 4 million pounds of leafy greens and microgreens, bulb vegetable product annual capacity within that 200,000 pound square footage there. So looking towards our competition, we're obviously not the only technology provider that is in this space. We do have a number of companies that are in either their growth entrances, and our market's very fragmented to begin with. But the way that Urban Stock is standing apart from this competition is that we are decentralizing the cost of growth infrastructure, spreading it across an already existing growing community while centralizing data and supply chain transactions to facilitate a more localized, resilient supply chain from start to finish. Rounding us out here, Urban Stock's team, the way that we think that we are different from our competition and how we stand out is that everything we do is to optimize our plant and our quality of our crop product first and foremost in order to elevate the quality of nutritional health that's leaving our farming communities and entering our cupboards, our refrigerators. And we really think that our commitment to leaving a net positive impact on our food future is unmatched in the space to date. So as we continue our innovation, Urban Stock, we are on a seed round raise of $1.2 million through a SAFE or convertible note. Those funds are going to be put towards our continued product development, our pilot testing within our First Nations communities, and really scaling our commercial stages of our pod activity. Wanting to just lastly reiterate, we are on that mission to nourish the planet from pod to plate and back again, and I really hope you take the time to join us. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much, Brent. I can't wait to own my own pod someday in the future. That was great. I think long term, if you picture the future that was defined in the movie Interstellar, where everything dries up and food is hard to access, long term, I think Brent's solution makes a ton of sense. And there's lots of venture capital firms out there investing in 40 years from now the foundational technologies that will really matter. And without a doubt, if you're looking forward, this sort of solution will need to exist. So it's been a great joy to work with, Brent. So the next person I'm going to introduce, Georgie from Beluga Pods, is a very interesting cat. And she's solving what I believe to be one of the world's most important problems, specifically health problems. So, she'll get more into this than I will, but really, I think every day we wake up with the intention to be happy, whether we're going to our job, whether, we're trying to spend time with our kids, we're optimizing for time and we're optimizing for happiness. And the moments in between when we're not feeling that are some of the most impactful moments in our lives in a negative way. And Georgie's working on a solution to really try to solve the issue of loneliness that exists globally, and she's passionate about it. And I think that she has the drive, the background, and the blood to be able to solve it. So without further ado, this is Georgie from Beluga Pods.
Thank you, Curtis. Hi, everyone. My name's Georgie Cox, and I'm the founder and CEO of Beluga Pods. We are a social impact startup tackling the loneliness and mental health crisis with our scalable, human-centered approach. So let's tackle loneliness. The loneliness epidemic is a global issue where 1 in 2 adults are lonely. And loneliness is so damaging to us as society, as people, and the economy. It's as bad as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It's linked to early onset Alzheimer's, dementia, heart disease, and sadly suicide. And it's also linked to negatively impacting the economy, which costs UK society £300 billion annually on mental health. That is £600 billion Canadian dollars. About. And of that, £110 billion are of lost business earnings, where people are burnt out. People don't feel like they belong. They don't feel like they're supported. And it's the new way that we work. So change is needed. But why is this? What does loneliness look like to you? We, for some reason, imagine this old person in a room on their own in a dark room, but that's not the case. We need to break that stigma. Loneliness happens to us all as people and as humans, so we need to change that. Loneliness even happens if you're successful, if you've got money. It comes at any point in life. So I'm going to ask you, who here has felt lonely at some point in their life? Thank you for that. And you can feel lonely even with people around you. And that's how I founded Beluga Pods. I had a great support system of friends, family, and even work. Yet I still felt isolated when I suddenly fell unwell with my life upturned. And where do people go in these situations where you feel embarrassed to ask for help? You feel like you don't want to burden people. So I, like millions of others, went looking online. But the current inefficient solution is social media, where there's lack of safety online. It's full of trolls, it's full of fake profiles, and there's just a massive disconnect. And there's a shame attached to it. So the lack of safety online, we really need to change this. And social media has far-reaching negative impact on society, causing an increase in eating disorders, in suicides. So change is definitely needed. And stigma. For some reason, as adults, it's not normal to ask someone to be your friend. Yet, why is that? It should be completely normal, because as we go through life, we go through different challenges, and so we need people to support us. But for some reason, we've lost that. And then remote working, which is great for flexible work. However, we've become more isolated. We've become too comfortable. We're not reaching out, and we've lost that sense of community. And that's where we come in. We are rebuilding community and reconnecting, but in a safe, private, and non-overwhelming way that meets each and everyone's unique, authentic needs. And it's based on an actual fact. So beluga whales form pods in the ocean of around 5 and 25 of them, and they find each other through sonar signals, and they come together and build their own intimate communities that meet their needs. And everyone's welcome, dolphins too, and that's the whole nature of our app. It's to be your true authentic self, but in a safe, private, and discreet way, because community means different to each person, and that's what we're embodying in this, bringing back altruistic and helping each other. So the solution is based on sociology, psychology, and people, because people matter, and we've seemed to have forgotten that. So we're removing all bias, because where you give people labels, you put people into buckets, there is stigma and shame. We're removing all of that and focusing solely on human connection to help people truly thrive, because where you have that, people can thrive. And we're more than an app. We're breaking the stigma. So we'll be doing marketing campaigns around this to break the stigma, normalize conversations, and ensure a positive change to socioeconomic benefit. So for this to work, we've based it around a staged approach. So the first being connection to yourself. Because you can be with people and still feel isolated, we're helping people build strength from within. And with that, we've incorporated basic, minimal 1-minute things each day where you do check in with yourself to check with your emotions using CBT style principles to make you get to that point where you feel happy and supported in yourself. And also adding minimal things you can do each day, whether that is to go to that lecture, whether that is to meet a friend, or whether that's random act of kindness. Whatever it may be, it's minimal and non-overwhelming. We also ask you what friends you want for the next stage, just to make sure that everyone feels like they belong and there's someone out there for them, and to make sure they feel safe and supported. And the next stage is bringing in that. And if people want to take it one step further on anonymity and safety, they can build their own avatar to remove bias and make sure that they feel supported. And to take it one step further, our final stage of the roadmap is to remove societal barriers by bringing in VR and our meet strategy for those who are unable to leave the house. They can still meet through our VR thing, or help them get to a point they never thought they could. So we help you feel connected, even in the most isolating moments. So our competitive edge is very unique because our solution is very human focused, and it's focused on each and every one of us, and it's so scalable. And we're cheaper than other offerings on there. And these offerings are great, however, they're just tick boxes. And although it's a crowded market, why is the problem getting worse? And it creates more toxic work environments because people believe that they've solved the problem. But in fact, they've created more of a toxic environment. So we put in the gap. We bridge the online to the offline to help people truly reconnect with unique human-centered approach with a socioeconomic benefit, and with our trustworthy approach with my personal story. So our business model is consumer with a freemium model, subscription model, and our B2B SaaS model with a one-off discovery phase to help teach people about loneliness, how to understand loneliness, how to deal with it, and how to cope with it. And they have different levels of these, and some come with research as well to truly measure the impact and to make sure that the outputs are increased as a result. So our projections are significant, so not just making a positive social impact, but also a societal one, saving costs to businesses. But also as a business, Beluga Pods is set to make market dominance with £50 million plus revenue by year 5. Our roadmap is to launch in the UK in 2025, our beta version. We're currently testing it with exclusive groups and charities to ensure inclusion. And we are looking to raise to help build safe tech to ensure the friendship matching works and we safeguard those appropriately. And VR is the final stage as well. We are looking to pilot, so anyone interested, that's please let me know. So our traction today is significant. We've got 5,000 plus signups, and we've got pilots ready for next year, and we've been awarded several grants. And we are also winners of Innovation for Sustainable Health, because as our solution provides longevity and prevention of diseases like Alzheimer's and dementia. So that brings me on to our team. Our academic collaborators are healthy aging experts to prevent things like Alzheimer's and frailty, and to ensure we support people like carers. And also to remove societal barriers, we have Manuela Barreto, who is focused on this. And we also have social connection advisors. Our team is kept lean at this stage, it's an early stage, so we have a team of developers that we outsource, and our new social media marketing team as well. So the money we will raise will go towards hiring in-house. So why me? I have a personal story. I've got a law degree. I was at Goldman Sachs for 6 years, and entrepreneurship runs in my blood, because we're building the Rolls-Royce of mental health apps. So the ask is £450,000, and the money, we're not asking beyond the money. We're asking for people who are truly passionate about this to join our mission and to help us, because community is so important after all. So we're looking to use this to hire and to also bring advisors on. So anyone interested or a pilot, please let me know. With significant projected revenue, let's help make this the next big app that helps people. Thank you very much, and let's tackle loneliness. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Georgie. That was awesome. Great job. Yeah, I think in startups specifically, it's a really great example of how loneliness can feel, because when you're working in a startup, you've got a group of friends that are doing this, that, and the other thing, but it's very hard to relate to people. Fortunately, we live in a place where the TME program exists, Energia exists, and Atlantic Canada exists, where we have just a large group of loving people that will be there to be a shoulder that you can cry on. And I actually speak to this from personal experience. But not everyone has that. And it's a lonely road, and there's so many things in life that can make us feel that way. So I think what Georgie's working on is incredibly important for our future, mental health, and it's a very admirable venture that she's building. So congrats, Georgie. The next person I want to introduce, Kavel from NeoApps AI, is working on something quite remarkable. He is challenging, or he's coming into a very competitive market, but he is Atlantic Canada's horse in the race to for no-code, low-code applications. So I just like, by show of hands, who has used a large language model, GPT, or one of the others? Yeah, so a good group of you, and if you've used it, especially the paid versions, you'd recognize that it's going to change everything. And within a number of years, universities will mandate the use of these tools in their technology and in their programs, and it's going to change faster than we've ever seen any technology change in history. And there's going to be an evolution of this where what is referred to as AGI, where the code can start programming its own code. But for that to really work in a platform where we can leverage it for our own discretion and for our own use case, there needs to be a platform that simplifies how we make our inputs. And what NeoApps AI is trying to simplify the no-code, low-code experience. So regardless of who you are and what sort of web application you want to make, it's plug and play, and you can do it on your own. So Kavel is a very experienced software engineer, and I'm very, very happy that he joined the program. So without further ado, Kavel from NeoApps AI.
Yeah. Thank you, Curtis. Imagine transforming your ideas into live application without the traditional development complexities. Imagine your project managers and analysts are shipping features faster than traditional developer. Hey, my name is Kavel, and we are building NeoApps AI. Every business requires some sort of custom tools to automate their unique workflows, to store mission critical information, or to create their business processes software. But there are some problems. This kind of tools can take technical expertise that most managers and analyst team doesn't have. It's time consuming and it's really slow. This type of tool can take $40,000 and up to 6 months for just simple use case. And for large and complex applications, that can take $2 million up to 4 years and often gets delayed. And here is the real kicker. 80% of the projects fails to meet timeline just because of unexpected outcome, budget, and resource constraint. That's where NewApps AI comes in. NewApps AI changed the game by allowing you to build a fully functional application 90 times faster and at 60% lower cost. It will take your high-level ideas and convert into a fully functional application and make sure your application is working and up and running. Even if you are not sure, our AI will guide you throughout the process and you will have your working application seamlessly. The question is how we are doing it. We are doing it like we are taking your high-level ideas and convert into a technical specification using generative AI-based chatbot, and that will be fed into a NewApps AI code generator engine, and that will give you a fully functional application. We are using tried and true frameworks that developers are using for many years. That is basically a building block to speed up the development. But in our case, we are using it at large scale to generate the code. As you can see here in this simple application, I have created a data room application that is really useful for investment analysts, and where I'm viewing the document and adding some comments, and it's kind of really easy to use. And this took me about 2-3 hours from concept to deployment and make it ready usable. So market is booming for this kind of opportunities. 75% of application now uses some sort of automation and artificial intelligence in their workflows. Whatever we are seeing in our surrounding, more than 50% of application just created for internal uses. This type of automation will save thousands of hours and free up your resources so they can focus really important thing for businesses, that is innovation and customer services. This will save about $200,000 average yearly for any business. Our business model consists B2B and business to consumer. We are offering enterprise level solution, platform as a service, where we will install whole infrastructure on client premise or on their favorite cloud. And the ticket size will be $100,000 per year. That will save about $200,000 yearly. And for consumer offering, we are offering $10,000 per year having that ticket size. And that will be purely based on self-serve portal where client can create their own application easily. So, as Cody said, I'm coming from competition, but we are the only one, and we got that real feedback from the market that we are the only one providing custom code, and we are allowing to download the code so developers can extend their application really easily. And we are utilizing generative AI to simplify the application process so client cannot kind of stuck in clarifying their ideas and get the working application. As of now, we have released our first MVP on March 24, and we secured about 20 paid pilot customers, and we are constantly receiving inquiries on our chatbot with having more than 280 weekly visits, and that's really good traction for early stage startup. With this traction, we are rolling out again for business to consumer by December 24 for early adoption. And we are rolling out in business to business marketplaces like Azure, Amazon, and Google for business adoption by January 25. We have planned to expand throughout North America by 2026. So team Cable, that's me. I've been working in artificial intelligence and in software development for more than 15 years now. And Rajal, that's my wife, a technical co-founder handling some programming and marketing, and the real backbone of this project overall. We have worked with the professional from MasterCard, Dalhousie University, and Indian Space Research Organization. And we are proudly advised by IBM, Oracle, Amazon, and Microsoft. As of our financial projection, we are aiming to go on a seed round with the ask of $1.5 million for new 18-month runway, with the valuation of $6 million for pre-money and $7.5 million post-money. With this investment, we are planning to invest heavily on marketing to get the early exposure in kind of North American market and then global market. And we'll be focusing more on product development, enhancement, and research and development to train AI models more. And we'll be expanding team, investing about 40%. And we have planned to raise this money by next 6 to 12 months to achieve our sales target. So let's make a future together where your ideas are no limited longer by traditional software development barrier, because with NewApps AI, if you can imagine it, you can create it.
Awesome job, Kavel. I'm imagining a whole bunch of things right now, so I'm sure we'll link up in the near future on this. Our last presenter of the day, Nasli, she comes from away with a unique set of problems that we don't actually have to face here in New Brunswick too often. And it's the problem of safety and feeling secure in the place that you live. And she's been through a unique set of circumstances that has led her to come up with this product solution that globally is very important. There's this existing infrastructure of CCTV cameras globally that is set there to keep us safe. And Nasli, being the really remarkable entrepreneur that she is, has recognized, the immense level of, expense that is going into trying to keep public safe. And she's come up with a really unique software solution to incorporate into the pre-existing technology. I think that with her solution and her, just brilliance, she's going to make a safer world, and I can't wait to see where it goes. So without further ado, Nasli's Univision.
Hello, my name is Nazli Timur. I'm the founder and CEO of Zinavision, and welcome. So every day we hear some stories, and stories of tragedies that could have been prevented. And unfortunately, all of us may have some everyday fears, and sometimes they become real. And it happened to me in 2016 during this terror attack. And it drove me to protect people in a way that no one ever go through to same experience and same feeling again. And this is the promise of Zinavision. Crime is everywhere, like stabbing, shooting, robbery. It's happening everywhere constantly. And the governments, with their growing interest, they keep putting more cameras to save us, to solve the problem and increase the safety. But unfortunately, it doesn't work. Because these cameras, they just do the recording. They don't understand what's happening. And as a result, just the mass shooting create $280 billion damage in US yearly basis. But what if we activate the city cameras with the true intelligence? What if we detect through these cameras threats in real time, and it alerts to the government or authority right away before it's so late? And this is the power of Zinavision we are offering. And as the cities, the governments, law enforcement, especially the cities, we understand that there is a constant challenge of election cycles that push and create pressure on the cities to show the outcome and output very fastly or in timely. And we created Zinavision in a way that it's a plug-play solution that you can quickly reduce the crime, and it's in the simplest way. And it's not just an ordinary security solution. It's a very advanced security solution, or let's say AI-powered guardian, continuously watching, understanding, and acting to prevent the tragedies. And think about any citizen walking in the street, feeling in the difficulty or in a risk. Press a button in the phone, activate the surrounding camera system, and let the police or like security personnel see them. This is what we created actually, and it's not just limited to the stabbing, shooting, violence. We have the disaster module in which, let's say, a flood or any disaster time, every citizen can press the button, or like by pressing longer, they can put voice message, or like a AI model that takes the voice to text, associate all the necessary information in one tab that frontliners can very quickly plan the emergency response plan. And the good part is what we do, we enable all the critical information, we make it accessible to the right people so that they can save some time to save other people. The solution is available in on-premise and cloud basis, and we provide flexible subscription, monthly or yearly payment. And we did a great job of optimizing the hardware cost. With this activation, you don't have to run the solution in constantly 100,000 camera. Just by like leveraging a small, less expensive hardware, you can come up with the same result just by like associating the necessary features in necessary cameras and creating the coverage. And in terms of competition, this market is like very brave and big market. And our competitors are like big competitors, but our differentiation is our scalability. We only put the scalable features to the solution so that it can be used all around the world without any little changes in the solution. And our coverage is transit safety and forensics and airport safety right now. And this is the, how to say, best piece I love to show. Right now we have a confirmed pilot with the city of Edmonton, and it's about to start. Like our solution will be securing the city of Edmonton metro station. It is a 6-month pilot, already invested 1 year discussion, and there is a chance there to expand it after the metro station to the metro bus. And there is a good fit in terms of airports also. Any large venue, streets, metro stations are good. This Shanghai Airport is interested in Singapore. They are like based in Singapore Airport. Police is interested in the solution, and we got like 97 out of 100 in terms of Rome Airport tender, which proves that the solution has a great fit for the largest airports. And we project the, how to say, good growth, like it's a software solution that we partner with the Dell. So we have the kind of a SaaS solution. It's and through selling the software, we are going to create a 63 million revenue in 4 years. And I believe it's a good opportunity for the investors to be on board with this growth projection. We already raised 100K. And as I mentioned, we partner up with some of the largest corporates like Dell, some telecom providers, and Nvidia, Microsoft. And we already have our hyperscaling strategy to make the Zena Vision in the globe the leading AI-powered security solution provider. It's all about like securing the, like finishing the most successful pilots with the credible customers, then expanding the team and selling through partnership to expand with the geographical expansion. It's a 5 years old project, patented technology. We have a very strong team in terms of domain expertise and also AI expertise. I am also a female technical founder also, dealing with the AI for long years. And their unique appreciation is the motivation. So let's rewrite the stories. Let's prevent the tragedies. Let's create a future in which security is not just a reaction, but a promise. Thank you for listening.
That was inspiring, huh? Nasli, when you are securing us, I feel so safe now. So thank you all for joining us today. It's been highly appreciated your support during the year. I know it's not just, we meet our kind of funding partners and mentors and partners during those events, but they work closely alongside with us throughout the year. And we highly appreciate the support that you are giving to our entrepreneurs in their early stages when this journey could be very lonely, but at the same time, we tackle that loneliness with our great ecosystem. So kudos to you and thank you very much for your support. A special thanks to the President and Vice Chancellor of UNB, Dr. Paul Mazarol, to Dr. Petra Hoff, the Vice President and Academic at UNB, to Dr. Durendra Shukla, the Chair of the J. Herbert Smith Center, for Dominic Blackley, our innovation and entrepreneurship strategy, to Igor and Nia and Amanda from our center. They are doing an amazing job in holding this, working together, for our amazing funding partners that we couldn't do it without you, to ACOA, to Atlantic Canada Opportunity Agency, and we have Andre today with us, so thank you so much. To NBIF, New Brunswick Innovation Foundation, for putting the time and the money for our companies to build a better future. To our lead mentor, Curtis Kennedy, for joining us this year. It's been a hell of a journey, so thank you so much. For our lead designer, Caitlin O'Donnell, they did a great job with putting up this presentation, so kudos. To all of our mentors that put the time over the last 3 months to help and support and to tackle together those challenges with our companies. That was remarkable. To Derek Dawn, to Mike Oliver, to Sydney Rankin, to Ian McLeod, to Ken Kent, Curtis Matthews. Really huge round of applause for them for dedicate their time for each of one of our single cohorts. So thank you so much. Along the way, we are working with other partners that are in the ecosystem, but providing some additional, services to our companies. Tomorrow, the Global Accelerator Network, to ONB, the Opportunity New Brunswick, for all of the tips and advice and willingness to help open those doors that sometimes it's hard to open. For the Chamber of Commerce, for partners from Profitual, for establishing the finance platform to our companies. That was amazing this year. For Atlantic Road Solution, to Kyle, to Kent, I see them here. So thank you so much for tackling the pillar of sales with us. It's been a pleasure. For Ignite and Planet Hatch, for Futurepreneur, for David Ford, Tina Smith, Rick Nolan, all of you are highly appreciated with all of the support that you are being given throughout the program. Please feel free to stick around. We'll have some light refreshment outside and some drinks. Get to know our companies, the founders, ask them some questions, learn more about what's happening behind the scene. It's been a great journey to have you here in New Brunswick, and this cohort was special because we had companies from all over the place, like all over Canada and even UK, and at the same time, it's the first cohort that we have 2 females. So that's an accomplishment. We hope you enjoy the rest of the afternoon, and we look forward to see you in future events. So thank you so much. You're welcome.